Have you ever stopped to wonder if it's really possible to go from zero to $20,000 in just 3 months, even if you're earning very little? A lot of people think that's just internet talk, an exaggeration, or something that only works for those born into wealth. But today, I want to show you, step by step, how an average person with a tight paycheck can start walking that path. Not with tricks, not with empty promises, but with a real shift in mindset, the same one Robert Kiyosaki teaches in his books. The journey begins with a decision to stop thinking like the majority. While most people live counting every cent, those aiming for 6 figures learn to think like investors, even if they don't have much to invest yet. You see, earning little isn't the problem. The problem is what you do with that little. Imagine you earn $300 a week. Sounds like too little to save, right? But what if the secret isn't to save? It's to multiply. Kiyosaki teaches that the first step is to change your relationship with money. Instead of working for money, make money work for you. Even if you only have $10 left at the end of the month, that amount can become the seed of something much bigger if it's put in the right place with the right knowledge. Now think with me. What if you treated the next 90 days as a training ground? Cutting useless expenses, learning a skill you can sell, and starting to invest smartly, even if it's just a little. Sounds simple? It is. But it's not easy. It takes focus, discipline, and the courage to step out of autopilot. But anyone who takes that first step is no longer at zero. Because zero isn't about an empty bank account, it's about a stagnant mindset. And once your mind starts moving in the right direction, results start showing up. If Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, woke up today with $0 in the bank, what would he do? That's a powerful question, because unlike what most people think, he wouldn't run out desperately looking for any job. He wouldn't chase quick money through bets, gambling, or empty promises either. No, he would start with something much simpler and much more effective. The first thing he'd do is observe, what skills do I already have that I can turn into income right now? Kiyosaki always says the most valuable asset you have is your mind. And financial intelligence begins when you stop looking for shortcuts and start thinking like an entrepreneur, even if you don't yet have a business. In the first 30 days, he'd focus on earning money. But not just any way. He'd look to solve real problems for real people, because that's where the money is. Maybe through consulting, a service, reselling something, or a simple solution, but something that creates value. In the next 30 days, he'd reinvest part of what he earned. In what? Education, tools, something that multiplies his ability to generate even more income. And at the same time, he'd protect what he made, avoiding traps like debt or impulse spending. And in the final 30 days, he'd scale, automate processes, delegate simple tasks, and build a system. Because the real secret isn't just to earn, it's to build something that keeps producing even when you rest. Does it sound impossible? It's not. But it requires vision. And Kiyosaki's strategy always begins with one simple question. How can I make money work for me instead of working for money? That's the key. And with it, $20,000 stops being a distant dream and becomes a real, concrete goal. Most people earning minimum wage think they're doomed to live paycheck to paycheck forever. That reaching $20,000 is only possible through luck, inheritance, or fantasy. But what if I told you there's a real, practical plan used by everyday people that can take you from minimum wage to your first 20K? And no, there's no magic formula, but there is a strategy. What no one tells you and what Kiyosaki always warns is that the wealth game doesn't start with a lot of money. It starts with intelligence. And the truth is, with the little you have, you can make giant leaps as long as you know where you're going. It all starts with a shift in focus. Instead of asking, how much do I make? You start asking, what can I learn that will help me earn more? That one question changes everything. You begin to see free courses as opportunities. Free time becomes building time. And your talents, even if they seem small, become tools to break free from financial stress. The second part of the plan is to cut what's holding you back. Debts, waste, bad money habits. There's no point trying to fill a bucket with holes. You need to stop the leaks before you start filling it up for real. And the third part, multiply. Whether it's by reselling products, offering services, or creating something others need and reinvesting every dollar wisely. $20,000 might seem like a lot when you earn minimum wage. But broken down into goals, steps, and daily actions, it starts to feel within reach. And once you get there, you realize the money was just a reflection of your personal growth. But I earned too little. That phrase is repeated daily by millions who feel stuck in a low-paying job, a routine with no future, or a life that barely lets them breathe, let alone dream big. But Robert Kiyosaki sees it differently. He would say it's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. And the formula Kiyosaki proposes doesn't start with money. It starts with a decision. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. Even if you're still at your first job, even if your paycheck barely lasts until the 10th of the month. This formula is simple but powerful. Learn a new way to generate income. You can sell something, offer a service, teach, care, create. It doesn't matter what it is. The focus is to create value, protect, avoid traps, watch out for payments in installments, debts disguised as benefits, and spending that only satisfies today while ruining tomorrow. Manage, treat the little you have as if it were a lot. Track every cent, give every dollar a purpose. Your money needs direction, not luck. Invest. Plant the seed, even if it seems small. $10 today can become $100 tomorrow if you know where to put it. Start small, but start. Analyze, learn from your results. What worked? What needs to improve? If you don't analyze, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes, sometimes for life. That's the formula. And it works even if you earn very little, because in the end, what makes you rich isn't how much you have today. It's how committed you are to grow every day, using what you have. No more magical promises. No more get-rich-quick schemes that are more illusion than actual plan. The truth is simple. Getting rich fast is possible, but it doesn't happen by luck. It happens through strategy, and that's exactly what Robert Kiyosaki teaches. A logical, smart, and practical path. No relying on the lottery, pyramid schemes, or scams disguised as opportunities. Building $20,000 in 3 months starts with clear steps, not blind hope. And the first step is changing your mindset. While most people live to pay bills, the smart investor lives to build assets. They focus on what puts money in their pocket, not what takes it out. The second step is increasing your cash flow. You need to find ways to make money outside your 9 to 5. Maybe it's something simple. Offering a service, using a talent, selling online. Today's world has endless doors, but you've got to knock on everyone until something opens. The third step is cutting what holds you back. There's no use earning more if you keep spending on things you don't need. Emotional spending, impulse buying, status chasing. These are invisible enemies that kill your growth. The fourth step is investing with purpose. Don't wait until you have $10,000 to begin. Start with what you have. What matters most is the habit, not the amount. Invest in knowledge first, then in things that can grow. And the fifth step, the most overlooked yet most powerful, is disciplined repetition. You'll do this every day. You'll make mistakes, adjust, persist. And then, with no magic, no luck, no trick, the results will come. That's the plan. No miracles, just intelligence. Most people want to get rich fast, but very few want to learn how. They want shortcuts. They want magic formulas. But Kiyosaki has always been direct. Getting rich fast is possible if you master the fundamentals. And those fundamentals have names. The 5 pillars of financial intelligence. Pillar 1, earn money intelligently. It's not just about working harder. It's about working in a way that teaches you something, connects you with people and builds skills. Sales, communication, leadership, digital tools, all of these can be learned even with low income. Pillar 2, protect what you earn. Ever seen people who earn well but are always broke? That's because they don't protect what they have. They spend everything, rack up interest, fall into financial traps. Learning to say no to unnecessary spending is a superpower. Pillar 3, manage with wisdom. Your money needs direction. Knowing where every dollar goes is like turning the lights on in a dark room. If you can manage $1,000 well, you're getting ready to manage $100,000. Pillar 4, invest with knowledge. Investing isn't gambling, it's building. It's planting a seed today, knowing that the harvest will come, and time is your ally. Even if you start small, consistency gets you there. Pillar 5, analyze information with critical thinking. We live in an age of information overload and lack of clarity. Kiyosaki says, it's not who knows the most that gets rich, it's who chooses the best. And that requires analysis, filters, and a sharp mindset. These 5 pillars are like the columns of a building. Without them, even a light wind knocks it down. But with them, you build a strong foundation, not just for wealth, but for freedom. And when you apply these pillars with focus, discipline, and consistency, getting rich fast stops being an empty promise and becomes a real possibility. Have you ever wondered why so many people work their whole lives and never save $20,000? The answer may sound harsh, but it's true, because most people follow the wrong plan. Or worse, they don't have any plan at all. Robert Kiyosaki always warns, schools teach you to be a good employee, not to be rich. And while you go through life on autopilot, studying, working, paying bills, trying to get by, time flies, and the money never shows up. Most people don't reach $20,000 because they never learn to think like the rich. It's as simple as that. But you can flip the script in just 3 months, and the first step is breaking that mental pattern. While most think about salary, those who grow think in terms of active income and passive income. So while most people buy things to look rich, those who grow buy assets. Things that make money even while they sleep. While most complain about how little they earn, those who succeed use the little they have to take their first step. The turning point comes when you stop chasing security and start chasing freedom. In 3 months, you can learn a new skill that earns you money outside your job, cut invisible expenses that drain your month without you realizing, create a daily routine of learning and action. Start investing, even with little, but with intelligence. It's not about magic. It's about consistency. And when you act differently from the majority, you achieve results the majority will never see. If someone told you they went from absolute zero, no savings, no plan, no support, to $20,000 in just 90 days, would you believe it? Maybe your first reaction would be doubt. But what if that person showed you exactly how they did it, using simple principles from Robert Kiyosaki? No hype, no get-rich-quick promises, just the raw truth, focus, discipline, and a shift in mindset. The journey started at rock bottom, no money, no prospects. Just one thing, the decision not to accept that reality anymore. And that's when Kiyosaki's teachings became the light at the end of the tunnel. The first lesson was, wealth doesn't start in your pocket, it starts in your mind. And from that point on, everything changed. In the first 30 days, the focus was on learning, absorbing everything about finances, investing, extra income, assets and budgeting. There was no money for paid courses, so it was YouTube, free books, podcasts. Every free minute became a brick in the foundation. In the next 30 days, it was time for action. I picked a simple skill and started monetizing it. Something I already knew how to do, even if it was small. I offered services, found clients, knocked on doors, literally. And in the final 30 days came the power of reinvestment. The little money I earned became the seed for something bigger. I bought tools, ran ads, scaled up. Every dollar was used strategically, not emotionally. The result? $20,000 in revenue. But more importantly, proof that with the right principles, anyone can rise from zero. This is the truth no one wants to tell you because it requires effort. But if you're willing, you can start right now. Have you ever asked yourself, is it possible to reach $20,000 starting with less than $500 a week? A lot of people doubt it. They think you need to earn a lot, inherit a fortune, or own $1 million business. But the truth is very different. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that it's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. And that's how everything started for me. In reality, my paycheck barely covered the basics. Rent, food, bills, there was almost nothing left. But even then, I decided to apply Kiyosaki's principle number 1. Pay yourself first. That means setting aside a portion of what you earn to invest in yourself. Before bills, before expenses, before random spending. And when I did that, even if it was just $20 a week, I started seeing the difference. Then came the second step, using my free time strategically. Instead of spending hours watching shows or scrolling through social media, I started learning skills that could earn me extra income. Digital marketing, product reselling, video editing, small online services, anything that could work. And here's the key point. I didn't save money. I built income streams. Every extra dollar became a seed. Every mistake became a lesson. Every new client became a step up. In 90 days, that tight paycheck became a machine of learning and action. And when I reached $20,000, I realized the secret was never about how much I started with, it was all about the growth mindset. Because when you choose to act differently from the crowd, you start getting results the crowd will never see. Every day, millions of people wake up early, face traffic, work 8, 10, even 12 hours a day. And at the end of the month, the money barely covers the bills. They're stuck in the cycle. Work, pay bills, repeat. But what Robert Kiyosaki teaches is simple and powerful. The poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. And that's what I chose to do. Instead of trading time for money forever, I started thinking differently. I asked myself, how can I create something that keeps making money even when I'm not actively working? That's when everything started to change. I studied the difference between assets and liabilities. I realized that everything that takes money out of your pocket, like debt, financing, impulse buying, pulls you further from freedom. But everything that puts money into your pocket, like investments, businesses, well-used skills, brings you closer to it. So I built a simple plan. I cut expenses down to the essentials. I eliminated everything that wasn't pushing me forward. I used my talents. I offered a service I could do in my spare time, something people needed and were willing to pay for. I reinvested profits. Instead of spending on temporary things, I put the money back into what gave me returns, tools, courses, ads. I created multiple streams of income, small at first, but when added together, they started growing. I stayed focused for 90 days, and that focus changed everything. While most people were working for money, I was building something that brought results, even while I slept. The result? $20,000, not from luck, not overnight, but with vision, discipline, and strategic action. And the best part, this isn't just my story, you can do it too. But you've got to stop chasing money and start building a path where money chases you. No one's going to hand you the life you dream of. If you want freedom, if you want wealth, If you want to live with purpose, you've got to get up and go after it. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's going to fight for you. No one's going to give you permission to succeed. When you understand that, something shifts inside you. You stop complaining about what you don't have and start using what you do have to build something new. You stop waiting for the perfect chance and start creating your own opportunities. It doesn't matter if you start small. It doesn't matter if no one believes in you. What matters is that you keep going, one step at a time, one mistake at a time, one lesson per try. People will doubt you. Some will laugh, others will disappear. But that's okay, because you'll keep going anyway, even if you're scared, even if you're tired, even if you have little, and that's exactly what will take you where most people never go. Because while they wait for motivation, you've already started with discipline. While they wait for luck, you're building your own path. And when they look at you later and call it luck, you'll know the truth. It was courage. It was persistence. It was a decision. It was you, period. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel to keep walking this journey with us.